Vinny, JFK Files. I'm going to read this to you.
Yeah.
So we are told, Rob, that 80,000 pages are being dropped, okay? 80,000 pages are being dropped, and this is something a lot of people have been waiting for. The president says we're not going to redact any of it. We're going to share all of it with everybody. Once it is released, you know, one by one, different research people are going through it. Well, I'm going to notice this. I'm going to look for this. I'm going to look for that. Vinny, so far, what have you seen? Because what I see here from Newsweek, Lee Harvey Oswald was poor shot, JFK file reveals. CIA responsible for JFK assassination, agent says, this is Newsweek. What do the JFK files reveal about Lee Harvey Oswald and Jack Ruby? Okay, this is the Hindustanian Times, which, of course, you got to trust those guys because they do a great job. But let me read what they released, and then what I got here, Vinny, I'm going to come to you next. Here we go. So what has it read? 1,123 pages released Tuesday by President Trump detailing Lee Harvey Oswald's pre-63 assassination travels, including to Finland, Mexico City, Soviet, Cuban embassies, where he sought a Cuban visa per the National Archives files. An FBI memo from Director J. Edgar Hoover, written hours after Oswald's death, urges per the files to assure the public that Oswald was the one who killed Kennedy amid his arrest for shooting JFK in Dallas, with Trump noting, we have a tremendous amount of paper. You've got a lot of reading, ties that know it, with files showing links to gambling, racketeering from Chicago roots of Jacob Rubenstein, procurator Stephen Fagan, great last name, who said Ruby is for some people the Rosetta Stone that you can use to unwrap the entire Kennedy conspiracy theory. We got a bunch of things to show you here. Vinny, take it away.
Well, yesterday on The Unusual Suspects, Connor made a really good point. They released 80,000, a lot of them that are old, a lot of nothing that was so outlandish where we're like, oh my God, it was this person definitively. But he made a great point where he said, whatever you were looking for, whatever you wanted, from whatever point of view, you got it that day. If you thought Israel was responsible, guess what? There was enough in there for somebody to have the conclusion that Israel, especially because they were
Andrew's sitting right next to
I apologize. I know. I apologize. So the fact that,
am I the resident Jew?
No, it's Adam.
That's my job.
No, that's Adam.
But like with that haircut you used to have, well, you don't know about this.
You got to
anymore.
keep you on your toes. Okay? Yeah.
Always guessing. So if you wanted to point the finger at Israel, there's enough proof in here.
What do we find? What?
Yeah. What's the finger?
What's happening? Show the forms.
Rob, where's the one with the Israel? There was a bunch.
Rob, what's that one? If you have that one right there, that says what?
This is regarding Gary Underhill, who was a intelligence agent during World War II, who after the assassination of John F. Kennedy went to a friend's house in New Jersey, told the friends that a small clique within the CIA was responsible for JFK's assassination and that he was afraid for his life and that he should flee the country. Less than 6 months later, he was found shot to death in a Washington apartment. The coroner ruled it a suicide.
Oof.
So that's July 19, 1967.
Yeah.
Okay. What else do you have?
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Rob. Go ahead.
This is more documents. Go ahead, Adam.
So that's the CIA. They're implicating the CIA.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, no.
So
Well,
where did
he's
you come
just
up
going
with
through the documents.
Jews?
No, he's going through a bunch. Oh, no, there was a bunch of there was a bunch of
foreplay here. What else do we have, Rob?
No, the Sergei letter is important.
This one right
Yeah.
here. Tom, if you want to take it away, I'll zoom in.
No, this is to the Russian ambassador, and so there was a handwritten note so that it was legitimized, and they retyped this. So you see the CIA up there retyped this so they could put it in their archive. But he was claiming, he says, listen, Mr. Lee H. Oswald is traveling with CIA, and he will be killed after he does the kill. And he is allegedly an assassin being trained to kill Kennedy. And this guy's bringing this in August, right? August something 10th?
3 months before, 3.5 months
He was
before.
killed in
August 9th.
November.
Yep.
Yep, August 15th. And so it's true that you got everything you wanted, but what you really saw here is there's a bunch of documents that seem to say that the Underhill letter said is a group of people in the CIA were training Oswald, had contact with Ruby, and people were pointing to it. So the one thing that everybody thought, isn't it weird that Alan Dulles of the CIA was on the Warren Commission, making sure that things were in or not in? Guess what? that now really looks like a legitimate statement. I mean, a lot of research went into Roger Stone's book, and he said that. And now we've got all these documents that seem to be pointing very conclusively that the CIA had fingerprints on Oswald's travel, fingerprints on Underhill, fingerprints with the Russian ambassador, where people are saying, look, Oswald's your shooter, one of them, and then he's going to be killed.
Andrew, how much you care about this?
Zero almost.
Really?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like I've been trying to care.
Yeah. Tell me why. Tell me why it's zero.
I don't know. It's like I think it's more that everything in media has become a Rorschach test, where it's just like what you already feel is what you're going to see. So I don't know if any like hearts or minds are changed by this information. There's no conclusive information. Like you were saying, if you want to blame the Jews, there's enough to blame the Jews. If you want to blame the CIA, there's enough to blame the CIA. If you want to blame the president of Mexico, I thought he was in there for some reason as well. And it's just like there's nothing conclusive enough to get everybody to agree on one thing. So everybody continues to go down their little rabbit holes, and then we don't get anywhere. And then the discourse just continues online, and everybody just kind of complains. So it's like, what is the solution? What do we really want out of it? Like, what would you like to know?
No, I think for you, though, because I think the audience cares to know your opinion. You're a guy that's... Comedians are brilliant, and they're very smart, and you're not just a comedian. You're a very smart guy. Your camera's off. One can have a 6-hour conversation, dinner with you, and it's going to be actually a very good conversation. Tell me, like, to the people that do care or those don't care, don't you think it's important for people to know what happened to kill a president, and why would they kill a John F. Kennedy?
100%. But I think it's like, I think right now, like, young people are so detached from, like, what JFK even was or did. Like,
Yeah,
he's
sure,
an
young people.
he's an
Yeah,
airport.
sure.
That's who JFK is. Like, that's his legacy now to young people. We are a little bit different. Like, our parents remember exactly where they were the moment that
Right.
happened. It was so
100%,
impactful.
yes.
But like a 19-year-old kid might have no clue who JFK is. Like, honestly. So I think you would argue that like RFK is more popular than JFK to young people.
Today,
Yeah,
today.
Yeah,
I
So-
would say known. Maybe a word would be known.
Sure.
Right?
Sure. Now, this is no like indictment on like what he achieved or what he was responsible for.
sure.
It's just more like the relation to people, right? So for me, I think the importance of this story is America's at an all-time low in confidence in our institutions, and I think the way you build confidence back is tell us the truth. And we don't believe a lot of things that we're being told by whatever institution it is. It could be medicine, pharmaceuticals, it could be health, it could be military-industrial complex, whatever it is, government. So I think we're just kind of craving some truth. We're craving some honesty. And once we get some honesty, we can rebuild that faith. We want to trust institutions. You want to trust the people in power, but right now we don't. So I think this drops and we're like, finally, we're gonna know exactly what happened. They trust us, we trust them, and we can move forward. And it just kind of feels like it
Okay,
always
so
does.
let me ask this question. Maybe the question is the following. Say this is out and inconclusive, okay? The CIA did it. We did it. I mean, you just saw the document right there that we're going to kill him and then the guy that killed Kennedy.
Well, that was from the Russian embassy. So I think this is where a lot of things trick. One, the CIA, I imagine, is this like massive, company that like there are little CIAs within the CIA. So what he was saying, there's like that guy who got killed 7 months later, and it was like there's a little faction within the CIA that was responsible for the death of JFK. Like to me, that's believable. But is that an indictment on the entire CIA? Does the entire CIA come together and decide that this is what's going to happen? Is there a rogue faction
great
within
question.
the CIA?
Yeah.
So I think it's very easy for us, and it kind of like appeases us when we just go, oh, CIA bad, FBI bad, Israel bad. Like we just take these like blanket statements when in reality, we don't even exactly know what the relationship is. Like I hear all these people like online and please believe they're not geopolitical experts at all. They usually yell at OnlyFans girls. And now they're telling me like exactly what happens in the world geopolitically. Like they've become like if you're a guy who used to throw parties and play poker, now you know really what the truth is in the world. So these oh yeah, Israel's controlling us and making us do all this stuff. It's like, how do we know they're not our errand boys? How do we know when we want someone killed and we don't want our fingerprints on it? We go, yo, BB, do that thing that you were told to do. Like, why are we so quick to believe that we're the ones that are on our knees? I mean, to me, it makes way more sense that America would tell another country far less powerful to go do what needs to be done for our interests. Now, what are those interests? That's where things get a little tricky. Like, those interests might be, lining the pockets of Boeing. I don't know what those interests are. But I think that's a far more believable scenario that nobody even talks about.
I think that's a great point. Are you trying to say that the U.S. government or CIA or FBI maybe gets involved in regime changes around the world? Or
no, we
toppling
do.
governments?
Of course
we do. And of course, I like the word. Like, what a great perspective. And I haven't heard that. Maybe, whether it's Israel or maybe it's MI6 in the UK or maybe it's whoever it is around the world, maybe they're our errand boy, and we control their government. They're not controlling our government.
Yeah. I mean, why is that not like the easiest, most plausible scenario? Like,
We're the biggest, strongest, most powerful country in the world.
But when it comes,
What a great point,
But when it
Schulz.
comes to something like this, which was one of, if not the greatest travesties in the history of our nation, it was that and 9/11. If you don't know but wait, the truth is out there, okay?
Also, the whole Abraham Lincoln thing and the Civil War thing, that kind of sucked.
Yeah, but JFK
Tomato,
on camera,
tomato, yeah, I get it.
shot in the head, proved that a magic bullet did it. Everybody knows who did it, but we couldn't say anything. They proved it. We can't get and by the way, we can't act like this isn't really, really important. We have to know the answers, which we're never gonna get. They tried to do it with Trump a year ago. So hold on a second.
you.
So what is our attitude supposed to be? Just like Ben Shapiro, who anything with USS Liberty, if Israel's involved, it happened 60 years ago. Just yesterday he came out and he was like, JFK, who cares? It was so long ago. Why? Because it happened so long ago. We're not supposed to find out the answer. They literally tried to do the same shit to Trump, but God got involved. There's no way you could tell me him doing this to a chart didn't get involved. So I think we deserve, and I get it. There's so much.
I didn't know. Did Israel try to kill Trump? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
no,
That's
no,
not
no,
what
no, no,
he's
no,
saying.
no.
He's saying-
I'm saying
Maybe.
people.
Maybe.
No, I'm just saying an assassination attempt that almost
That would have been
worked.
a very unique angle right there.
Of course.
No, I'm just saying. By the way, it wasn't. If you believe that dorky ass white boy was walking around pointing at a roof and that guy climbed on a roof and chilled and shot and nobody was paying attention to him, that's unbelievable. 6 cell phones, encrypted
Let me ask
messages
this.
from overseas.
It's a very simple question.
Yeah.
What if 100% was CIA involved? Does it do anything to you? 100%.
Yeah, because then that agency to me has to go bye-bye.
The entire agency.
You think the agency has to
What
go
does that even
bye-bye?
mean?
So, okay, because at that magnitude, they all
So now we
knew.
don't
They
have-
to know.
That's
So we don't
agents
have an
from
intelligence
63
community?
years ago.
Yeah, but they,
So-
okay.
Hang on. So from an agency from 60, let's just say 62 years ago, they did it. The whole agency needs to go done?
I say yes. That's so because the biggest, as a military veteran, treason, when you do something to hurt the country, this agency killed the sitting president. It doesn't get worse treasonous than that. Yes, everybody's gone.
No, Vinny.
What do you mean, no?
Well, let him get it out. Let him get it out.
No, but you understand, like, for instance, if Valuetainment did something wrong, of that magnitude, done, wiped
But
out.
the example in this situation would be if out of 200 employees, 22 people had a plot to do something that the other 178 didn't know. The whole company needs to go? I don't think so. Because
But do you not think that the head and the higher ups of this, if this is true, they didn't know?
No,
that doesn't take a
Okay,
small
so let me ask you a
faction.
question. Let's just say these guys did it. Why did they do it? Was it for cause? Was it for crusade? Was it for correcting an injustice? Or was it because they got paid? What do you think would be the main reason?
I think they got paid, and because the main things he was trying to do was not get us into war. He was anti-war. He was doing a bunch of stuff that was anti-Israel. He was doing a bunch
so
of
let's
stuff.
just say he is an anti-war guy, because we know he was.
Yes.
So anti-war hurts who?
The military-industrial
military-industrial.
complex.
Okay,
and
perfect.
Rich people.
So do you think the CIA agent working for the CIA cares deeply whether it's anti-war or not, or for war? You
course.
think they care?
The person
Do you
individually.
think the agent is that much of a believer that they care to say, this is why we took him out, because he's anti-war? Do you think the motivation was somebody paid an agent to take him out? You know what I'm asking?
Yeah.
What-
Probably paying the agent.
Okay, so then guess what? If that's the case,
It's not an indictment on the entire
Yeah, I
CIA.
mean, look, I just sold a company 2.5 years ago. You know how many times when you go through this, you see bribery happening with different things? Hey, we'll do this for you to turn against this, and we'll do that to turn against. Then you watch everybody. You're like, all right, well, I thought that guy was 100%. Okay, that's what's going on. I thought this guy was. These types of things happen in so many. That's not a indictment on everybody in the company. However, let me ask the other question. Say it comes out that actually Israel was involved. What does it change for you?
If Israel was involved?
Let's just say Israel was involved. And what does that change for you?
I mean,
what does it change for you? If they were involved.
Immediate accountability.
Immediate accountability.
Absolutely.
Okay. And what does that mean? If it's because
are those people still around? Are those still people still part of
Probably not.
government? So none of them are alive. None of them are here.
62 years ago, if they were 30 years old then, they're probably 92 years old today. So there's a 95% chance none of them are alive if they were over 30. I'm just kind of doing math.
I mean, immediate extradition if they are. You know, as I'm sure Israel has done in the past with Nazis that they've found around the world. Immediate extradition, death penalty on public in America, fire, pay-per-view.
Immediate, if that was the case.
Yeah. I mean, if it's proven guilty, you have to obviously give them due process, but 100%. And then I think that would greatly fracture the trust. Because understand, people are emotional beings. So the perception of a relationship matters. Right now, there's a great fracture, I think, between the perception of America and Israel's relationship. And you should be able to criticize every fucking country. I hate this idea that you can't criticize them. We criticize America. Half of America shits on America every single day. The other half shits on America every single day. But we can't question what another country is doing because reality is bullshit. No, you should not. Every single country can get it or should be criticized 1,000%. But what's going to happen is if you see that another country killed one of our leaders, even if we're besties right now, that relationship is probably severed. It probably severed forever, in all seriousness. I mean, listen, we nuked Japan, and now, we hang out, we go there, it's just the best time ever, 100%. But I don't know if Israel's got something as good as sushi.
Do I have the bagels?
Well, he says Tel Aviv nightlife is amazing.
No. I guess what I'm
is.
trying to say is the public perception. There's going to be
Sure.
so much animosity that I don't know if any relationship could overcome that. You have to say that. So that severs the relationship immediately because the politicians are going to have to react to public sentiment. You can't just tell people, "Oh, but that was in the past. Now we're good."
I agree. I fully. So that's the part where, the average non-journalist, today there's two different types of journalists, right? There's the citizen journalist and there's the journalist.
Yeah.
And the question becomes, who do you trust? The guy that's a journalist went to brainwashing university that you have to believe in one way or another
BW.
and see the other side as the enemy. So it's not really journalism. It's journalism against the enemy. And then the citizen journalist is not a professional journalist. They're just kind of sitting there searching, Googling, grokking, ChatGPT, and whatever they're doing. And I came up with this. So you're like, whoa, that was kind of interesting. I didn't know about that. Good find. Tell me more. And you kind of seeing some of these guys that are coming up, the Carrolls of the world, you're looking, wow, I never know about that. Rob, what is this, by the way, that you got? Small clique within the CIA who was responsible.
That's the Gary Underhill thing that we showed
Do you
earlier.
have anything else outside of that to go through? What's this one here, Rob?
This video is back in 68 or 69. This
Is this the LBJ video?
Yes, Billy Sol Estes talking with Clifton C. Carter about the administration, LBJ's administration. Well, technically be JFK's administration. LBJ was the vice president, but them hiring a guy named Mac Wallace to kill JFK.
Let's hear this.
How's life treating you today? Well, Saul, it's been a pretty touch and go situation. Linda and I have had quite a few unpleasant words here lately over the deal that he hired Mike Wallace to assassinate the president. It's been hectic in every way, but we've lived through it this far, and I guess we'll continue to do so. Lyndon should have never issued that order to Mike. But we've had our differences, and I'm a true blue to Lyndon, as I've always been, and tried to carry out every order that he'd ever given me. But this is one I'll probably never be able to forget. And the times that we've had in Texas, and the embarrassment that Lyndon had gotten from Kennedy, I guess there wasn't anything else to do but what he did. Well, Lyndon could have really hit me if he would. Well, Lyndon's the kind of person that doesn't want to help anyone. He's all for Lyndon, and that's the way he's pretty much always been. Well, they had me backed up on that Henry Marshall killing, and they just kind of blackmailed me to keep my mouth shut. If I hadn't had a bunch of tapes that I played after he got killed,
is, 17 got killed in this situation very mysteriously.
How long has this been public?
And I've done a lot of time.
I saw this a few months ago. I don't know how long it's been out. I'm taking a look now to see when it was actually recorded. I'd have to dig in a little bit deeper to give you an honest answer.
When you see this, PBD, what do you make you feel?
Well, listen, I've read a little too much on Lyndon Johnson. I've never been a fan. Lyndon Johnson, to me, is one of those guys that they make it to the top by taking everybody else down. Not they make it to the top to outdoing everybody else that's going to the top. This guy was envious of Kennedy. Kennedy was getting all the love, the accolades, the attention. And you got to be careful with these ambitious, lazy people who are envious and they secretly stand behind you and they watch you and they act like they're a friend when they're looking at you behind closed doors. They cannot wait to see you fall. And that's Lyndon Johnson, man. So I'm not surprised that this was his way of becoming a president. I'm not surprised. He was way more ambitious. John F. Kennedy never wanted to be a president. His father wanted one of his boys to be president. John F. Kennedy just wanted to have fun. He was just a guy that was having fun. His oldest brother dies in his early 20s in a plane crash in war, and his name is Joseph Kennedy Jr. He's supposed to be the president. He's the real guy. That's the alpha guy. John F. Kennedy had back issues, bone issues, health issues. He did not want to do this stuff, and then eventually it's like, hey, you got to run. And then
Is that true that he didn't want to do it?
John F. Kennedy Jr. never wanted to be president.
Or JFK, not Junior. Junior is his
I'm
son.
sorry. Yeah, John F. Kennedy never wanted to be president.
It was like next in line. It was almost like Assad in a weird way because he had an older brother that died. That's
Yeah, that was my
He was the
understanding.
guy. Yeah,
That
he was the
Joseph
guy.
wanted his firstborn, I guess, to be, and then there's a death, I guess, in war, and then but I didn't know that he had no interest in it. That's really interesting.
Well, what does that sound, by the way? I don't know. You hear that? The static? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the dad would talk about when they were growing up, who's going to be the president first? Is it you, Adam? Who's going to be the president first? And so it was always Joseph. And when the oldest son died, he was depressed, devastated, didn't want to be around people. He was a mess. And then John F. Kennedy eventually goes and does it. So Lyndon, to me, if you were to tell me if stories come out that Lyndon Johnson was behind this whole thing, I would easily believe it.
Did you Roger Stone's book, The Man Who Killed Kennedy? Bro, they should have sued him back then when he wrote it. The family or whatever. It pretty much points to this guy, and he was involved with every single aspect of it. Period. And I love what you said, Andrew. It's just accountability, bro. Whoever it was, even if, and you guys made a great point because I never thought of it like that. The actual, I'm indicting the whole thing. Okay, I get it. It's a small faction. But whoever it was, we just want answers. Just like the Jeffrey Epstein shit. I want to be able to go, that son of a bitch did it, and then they're alive, we could put them in jail. That's a whole different but I love accountability.
No, I hear. We all want that 100%. And I get your knee-jerk reaction to be like, hey, shut the whole thing down. I think so in New York, there's this jail called Rikers Island. Have you heard of Rikers? Obviously. And there was some pretty horrible treatment of inmates there. And there was this move to get the entire jail shut down. And it's it's not the jail's fault. The jail is just a building. You know what I mean? It's just a building with cells. The jail didn't do anything wrong. But obviously there was horrible treatment. So you could replace, fire, change up the people that work there, the people in charge. And I think that'd be a similar situation because what's going to happen is you destroy the jail, they're going to build another jail.
For sure.
So if you destroy the CIA, they're going to build another organization and the same thing's going to happen. So you could definitely hold whoever's in charge at the time accountable for even letting that rogue faction do it if that's what it was. But the fact that we're still talking about it feels like we're nowhere closer to finding out exactly what happened.
I think we're heading in the right direction.
You think we will in our lifetime?
I think we will. I think we're heading in the right direction. I think there's going to be some people that even after, with all the evidence, okay, there's still going to be some people that are like, I don't know about that. I think this, but I think the score is going to go from whatever it is right now, 63%, 64% of the fact that there was a second shooter, whatever. There's percentages on this. I think that's going to go to 85, 90%. It's never going to go to 100% because some people just don't want to believe it.
That's the thing. And then once you've committed your life to something, it's, what do they say with people with cults? When the cults get exposed, they get even more devout.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing that happens, but it's because you're so shameful. You're so embarrassed that you could believe something so stupid so that once it gets exposed, you actually double down.
The future looks bright. spring collection is officially here. I don't know if you've noticed. The White House tweeted future looks bright this week.
Yep.
Everybody's tweeting. Ripple tweeted future looks bright. Wow. This new gear is the puff print, which, by the way, this right here, this will not last. This hat, future looks bright, will not last. You see the logo that pops. If you see the future looks bright,
kinda matches the
lettering
outfit.
that pops.
I like it.
Okay, we got this for Adam. We got this for some folks that if you want to wear the spring collection, we have this here. We have another color here again for spring collection, the brown one.
Buy
and then
two
we got
and do a
these
gender reveal.
Visors. Well, by the way, guys, these shirts,
Oh,
I dare you to order one, wear it out, okay?
That's
If
sick.
you don't get a compliment on it, message me. We'll give you 2 of these for free. These,
Is that the deal? No
Well,
compliments.
he's going to do it here.
You get
Look
no
at this.
compliments.
You don't get a compliment. We'll give you 2 more of those shirts that nobody likes.
Future looks bright. Look at this here. By the way, feel the material. How this
Feels good. It
This is
feels
called
really
the puff print. Feel
Yeah,
it. Feel
that's
the
wow.
material.
We'll make you a good deal. If
It's
nobody
sick.
like your shirt, you
Anyways,
get 2 more.
Spring collection,
Be
go
like
out there
Don
and do
Lemon.
it.
Feel the nipples.
Anybody that places an order, we're putting in one of these new custom VT mugs that are here that has been made for anybody that places an order. We're going to send you one mug as well. Spring collection, place your order before these things sell out. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.